Hello, my name is Chris, and today we're going to be discussing the topic of the Articles of Confederation, why it was bound to fail, and why it only lasted 10 years. We will also briefly discuss why the Constitution is better and is an astronomical document that we still live by to this day. To start off, one big downfall to the Articles of Confederation was a weak/limited central government. This means that the states held most of the power when it came to a lot of things. Each state actually had their own militia. Things could get really funky and cause problems if a foreign invader came through to invade the entire country. Along with each state having their own militia, each state also had their own form of currency. This can cause problems with currency exchange. For example, if a business wanted to expand to other states or do business in other states, this could cost the business a lot more money and a lot more hassle. It would discourage business to be brought across the country. This, in turn, would reduce economic activity, which is a no-no. Another weakness in its government was that the states had their own laws. This can cause unnecessary trouble. For example, your average Kevin Parker could be traveling across states, and suddenly, something that is legal in one state is now breaking the law in another without even realizing it. Its other weakness that the Articles of Confederation struggles with is it only had one branch of government. This means no executive branch, no judicial branch, just the legislative branch, which didn't have a lot of power. There was also no implementation of a president with this system, and any decision needed 9 of the 13 states to say yes, which meant decisions probably weren't going to be made. Another weakness the Articles of Confederation presented to us was the lack of checks and balances. There was none. There was no one to hold the states accountable. Another issue with the Articles of Confederation is money. One of these is inflation. They were printing more money than they had. Each state had their own form of currency. And a big one is that the government could not collect taxes from the state. The only thing they could do is politely ask. Now, why did the Constitution put the Articles of Confederation to shame? Well, for starters, the government is able to impose taxes on the states unlike the Articles of Confederation. Also, Congress has the power to form a military, as well as having checks and balances, which is a system that allows each branch of government to limit the power of other branches in order to prevent abuse of power. The Constitution also shines by giving the government certain power and rights, such as Congress being able to levy taxes and regulate trade between states and countries, the creation of a federal court system, and representation based off population when it came down to voting. Now, some of the key players at the Constitutional Convention was George Washington and James Madison. Washington was elected unanimously as the president of the Constitutional Convention. Washington's presence provided a sense of focus and direction. He originally did not want to be a part of it, but Washington certainly had a vision for a stronger union. And James Madison, notoriously known as the father of the Constitution. James Madison was a driving force behind the Constitution. He came with great arguments against the creation of a new government. There were 85 essays explaining the significance of the Constitution in an effort to persuade states to ratify. Now, looking at the fact that the Articles of Confederation only lasted 10 years, it's easy to say that there were definitely some issues with it and it was bound to fail. The Constitution, on the other hand, seems like a pretty impressive document. We're still using it, which really says something good about it.